I'm Lindsay Levkoff. I'm the Director of Education here at Sparkfun Electronics. The department started in January of 2011, and we've just been cooking since then, trying to get the technology into the classrooms. The Department of Education basically came out of the idea that if we can make technology more accessible and more affordable, that school systems would be able to adopt that, and we could sort of inspire students and kids all over the country and world, for that matter, to get their hands dirty, to play with stuff, to not be afraid to fail, and just hack and build. We were teaching classes to local people. We were kind of getting out at maker fairs, putting on soldering booths. And then I was working in production in 2009 and in 2010, and I saw this amazing technology coming out of the production line. And I thought about my own past, and I had taken the biological sciences route. There wasn't anything hands-on, I couldn't dissect anything. And so I'm looking at this technology that we're selling to kids, to engineers, and I thought, you know, if I had been exposed to that when I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, even college and beyond, I think that might have changed my path. We started with boosting up our sort of headquarters offering. So we started introducing more courses and workshops. We have a 5-day summer camp for geeks, basically, which takes people from napkin schematics, so you come with an idea, and we try to get you through to prototyping that idea in 5 days. Soldering classes, sewable electronics, all kinds of things, and then we decided, you know, it's time to try and expand this program a bit. And so we sponsored some people. People kind of reached out and said, we'll be the guinea pigs. We want to see this hardware. We want to get our kids soldering, building. And so it started just kind of this smattering of people all across the country, sort of just embracing this technology, you know, not being afraid of it. And then we sort of saw these flares happening, right? And we wanted to find a way that we could kind of unify the whole country. And so that was sort of spawned the idea of, like, what if we just traveled the country and exposed people to this technology? We're really excited. You can probably see the RV behind me. This is probably, you know, I had the dream that this would happen, and it still really boggles my mind that there's this wrapped, awesome looking RV here at Sparkfun that we're going to get to take on the road. The inside isn't that dissimilar from your average family's RV, but it's Sparkfun, so the nature of the game is that it will be adapted to the DIY culture. Everybody is so committed to education at this company that they were willing to take the chance and see, you know, what happens if we do take an RV across the country. Can we just get this knowledge, can we get this technology into these communities and just sit back and see what happens? One of the big things that we focus on in the education department is, as much as we absolutely love to work with the students directly, we see the opportunity to work with educators as a way to actually reach more students. If we just go in and it's a classroom full of students, it's fantastic, and hopefully we make a change, you know, on those students, and then they'll go out and tell other people and tell their parents and friends. But we actually love working directly with educators, because if you can inspire an educator and make an educator feel comfortable and excited about this, I mean, that's generations of students, that's classroom after classroom. And so we didn't specify for the national tour whether it would be educators or students directly. We let the hosts kind of make that decision for themselves. And so we will be at hackerspaces, public libraries, various school districts, kind of across the board. And I think, you know, each stop is a little bit different. Sometimes it's a room full of kids, sometimes it's the educators. At some point, these educators have to be able to go back to superintendents, to their district level, and you know, prove to them basically that this is a worthwhile expenditure of scarce money, basically. And I think what we're seeing is, if you can have the opportunity to show somebody at that level what it looks like when a student lights up their first LED, or when they write their first code and it executes on a board and they can actually see something, it's it's done. I mean, game over. That tiny moment when they are entirely captivated by this thing that they just did pretty much wins over anybody at that level. But having the opportunity to do that is a bit rare. So we're looking for that sort of wildfire thing to happen where you get enough educators excited, you get enough district level people, state level people excited, that it just sort of becomes this national excitement.